Okay, good morning everybody. Welcome to the first round of the Gibraltar Open 2020. We have a clash between two giants here. Sebastian Wilkinson playing the red checkers on top of your screen against Mochy from Japan, of course, at the bottom of your screen. So standard opening, promising. My name is Michel Lamote, by the way. I'll be commentating all through the day on the matches here of the individual tournament. "75 contenders. The first round started about 5 minutes ago. So Sebastian off to a good start with a 4 prime, one checker behind it. A 6-2 to play for Mochy, jumping out, looks like the obvious play. Sebastian looking for a 4, there it is. And the 6 will jump out, good. So Mochy needs to come in, preferably with a 3-6 or a 4-5 or something else with a 3. Otherwise he might be under pressure. Double 2s looks great. Coming in and making the 4-point looks obvious. And then I guess he will be stepping up to the 4-point, even though he is under attack from 4 checkers. We'll see what Mochy comes up with. Maybe there's something I'm missing. We don't have XG feed for the moment, so we don't have the race. So bear with me if it takes me a while to figure it out. Sebastian decides to wait, rolls double 6s, which is great, establishing a 5 prime. The question here is, do you keep the midpoint or do you just play this? That would be my play. It looks like red is up in the race. So escaping with the last checker sounds like the way to go. Mochy badly needs to hit here or jump out. That's a 3 with something else. So 2 clashes already in the first round. We have Mochy against Sebastian in this match, and the other featured table, which we will be streaming later on, is Lars Trabolt against Mislav Kovacic. So with a bit of luck we will be able to follow both matches simultaneously. So unfortunately we can't see what this roll is. Maybe it's a 3-4. That's the 4 and 3, yes. So Mochy was probably temporarily hesitating between this play and making the 5-point and leaving a shot with deuces, which are duplicated on his side of the board. So I think we are in pip counting territory here. 92, 104 I think, 64, 82, 113. 134. Yes, so it looks like red is already up about 25 pips, 30 pips maybe. So Mochy is giving this a bit of time. Has already spent about 2 minutes on this opening game. He's doing the count. Yeah, that's the second option. Question is, can he keep Sebastian from doubling? I don't think so. The double looks mandatory to me now for red, and the big question is whether white can still take this. I would think not, because any deuce looks like a market loser, together with other rolls which safety the red blot from the 18 point. Mochy is investing a lot of time in this checker play, probably trying to figure out whether he has a take or whether he can take this position or not. So seconds are ticking away as Mochy is contemplating this. So this once again betrays Mochy's deliberate style of playing. You can see him leaning over the board, probably doing, like going through all the rolls. There it is, finally makes his decision. There is the cube, which was expected. And now the big question is whether can Mochy squeeze out a take here. I would think not. I'm quickly trying to put it in XG here. So here we are. So we'll soon know, and I see from the corner of my eyes that Mochy is passing, and it is a good pass. I just checked it here on XG, it's about 93 millipoints. Difference between taking and passing, so a very good drop by Mochy. But he spent 4 minutes, more than 4 minutes on this opening game. An opening game where, as we all know, there's not too much at stake, so I'm not sure whether this is wise time management from Mochy. Okay, 1-0 to Sebastian, first blood. Starts off with a 2-1, slotting, ambitious. Question now with the deuce, is you split? That should be correct. (5-1) is not a great number. Several options. I'm not quite sure what to do. I mean, jumping out is maybe a possibility. Another possibility might be to slot the 5-point and come up with the ace. Mochy goes for the running play. Hopes to be missed, but isn't missed. 4-3. I think hitting and splitting is the motif. 2-5. An unfortunate sequence for Mochy. He is under pressure already in this second game. Jumping out. Or you could consider the tempo hit on the ace, but I think it's too committal. But as we can see, Red has 4 well-positioned builders. So Red is threatening to improve his position big time. Mochy decides not to hit, and Sebastian exploits White's inflexible position and probably race lead. Not enough threat. According to Mochy, he takes 6-2. Can make the bar at the cost of leaving a direct shot, an ace. He can also just decide to run with the back checker to the midpoint, but making this 4' looks strongest. Sebastian, by the way, impressed everybody in the previous days with some stellar PRs in the UBC tournament. There we are, the players in view. Mochy looking away into the distance. Sebastian pondering this decision. I think making the 4 prime is best because you really establish a permanent asset. You have 2 checkers behind the 4 prime. 3-2 is great, establishes the anchor. So Mochy now in comfortable take territory if he were to get cubed now. Of course the cube has already been given. Sebastian rolls a big roll, 5s, gaining enormously in the race and leaving himself with a very simple game plan, namely to escape his last checker. It looks like Mochy will have trouble improving his front position. He is a bit dependent on perfectors. Perfecta, of course, is a role which improves your position against the odds. Excellent roles for Mochy would be things like aces, deuces, well, let's say any double, or 3-1, 4-2, 5-3, things like that. Sebastian goes for the best play, in my opinion, safetying all his checkers, establishing a lead. That's one of the excellent rolls for Mochy, 6-1, making the bar point. Sebastian now hoping to escape, he does. If he gets missed, he will be in great shape. Mochy badly needs a 3, it's not there. Probably double slotting his board now, 5 and 2. Trying to squeeze some contact value out of the position. Sebastian accomplishes his mission by escaping fully with his last checker. Okay, 2-1. Pretty trivial roll. You make the 5 points. Good. 5-2. Yes, do you volunteer? I think this is the time to, you know, get rid of your 11 point, clear the 11 point at the cost of 4 shots. White has 2 blots in board, so the risk is not that high. Okay. Mochy now in the meantime has improved his front position significantly. But this should be plain sailing now for Sebastian. $41, $71, $76, $124. I'm just checking the race, 69, 79. There's about 20 pips in it, so Mochy is not really in a hopeless position. He has a couple of rolls. Well, he has plenty of rolls, of course, for double 5s or double 6s. In the meantime, he will just smoothly improve his front position. 5-1, that's great, gets rid of the 8 point. So this is a pure racing position now. With Sebastian, a huge favorite, I would say about 80%. 4-1 favorite to win this game. This is maybe a good time to say that Sebastian was cruelly unlucky in the UBC tournament. He didn't make the cut for day 2 because his PR was like 0.04 higher than the guy who qualified. So an unfortunate and cruel turn of events for Sebastian. Let's see if Lady Luck is more on his side today. Mochy keeps looking around, a bit disinterested. Of course, there's not much mental energy for Mochy to invest in this position. He can only rely on luck here. He needs a big double to have any chance of winning this, unless Sebastian comes up with a 6-3 or something. He doesn't. So things are looking sunny for Sebastian here. Mochy realizes he is too far down in the race to even consider a running play. Here Sebastian could take 2 off, but he prefers to reduce his number of checkers on the 6 point to 4 in order not to fall victim to a freaky double 6. Two off seems like the way to go. There are no blot levers for red, so that's comfortable for Seb. Six and 3. Here we have a bit of a decision. Right, bringing it in looks correct to me because you want to run with your last checker. 6-2, that's where the deuce goes, I think. Only 6-2 leaves a shot. And Mochy has to go with any 6, which is what happens. So this pretty much looks like game over for Sebastian. So should you want to see the draw of this tournament, I think you need to go to the website or the Facebook page of Backgammon Gibraltar 2020. You can see the full draw. Like I said, 75 players in the main, 60 or 65 players in the intermediate. It sounded to me that the organizers were quite happy with the number of contestants. It's interesting to mention too that 26 grandmasters competed in the Ultimate Backgammon Championship in the previous 2 days, and the majority of them decided not to play in the individual tournament. Players like Thomas Christensen and others felt too drained after 2 days of tough competition. The opposite is Mislav Kovacic, who showed up here on Monday and decided not to play in the Ultimate Backgammon Championship, and putting all his eggs in the basket of the main tournament. So he should be freshest among the grandmasters in this individual tournament. 3-0 to Sebastian. He's off to a good start, but of course it's a 17-point match. A lot can happen. No need for Mochy to become nervous. 6-2 hits on the deuce point. For Mochy, you can see him leaning in. That's his way of reacting to a challenging checker play. So this is one option, of course. Attacking, putting red on the bar and establishing a 4-point board. The other option would be to go for the defensive 18-point anchor. I think personally that I would go for the defensive 18-point anchor. Red is far from out of the woods. He has 2 checkers to extricate from White's home board. Yeah. So I think this is the best decision. Mochy looks unsure. deliberating with himself, trying to find out whether white has blood-leaving numbers. I'm not good at things like that, but it looks like 6-5 leaves a shot, 6-3. Maybe 5-4 leaves indirects. That's maybe not enough for Mochy. Probably also looking at whether he has an efficient cube. Should Sebastian dance on this board? So complex considerations. It looks like he will end up playing and making the defensive anchor. I think it's the best play. This is awkward for Seb. What to do? What to do? I think you need to step up with the 3 and slot the 3 points. Slot your own 3 points. So 24 to 21. But I'm not sure. This is complicated. I think players will have to... Yes, yes, yes. That would be my intuitive play. Sebastian makes it. And I don't think Mochy has enough here. Of course, he has market-losing rolls. 4-2, double 2, double 4, double 5s. Maybe rolls like 6-3, which hit on the 4 point, followed by a dance. Whether this is enough for Mochy to cube is hard to say. And we can see that even Mochy, who is, of course, considered to be the best player in the world, is faced with a challenging decision here. So I think when Mochy is leaning over the board like this, it means he is in a state of heightened concentration, trying to go through the dice rolls, going through the 21 different rolls that are possible on every shake. Decides to go for the hit. Right. Red has a blot-in board, so 12, 14, I think 16 rolls hit for red. So Mochy has to decide whether he will go for a waiting play or for an action play. He goes for the action play, tries to shoot it out on this roll, so 16 rolls, I guess. For Sebastian, he hits with a 4, which is great. And now Mochy finds himself in a highly volatile position. 3s from the bar, followed by a dance, would be market loss, I think. But this is definitely not enough. There is the 3, and the 4 is another important decision. Do you just jump out and sit on the position for a moment, or do you go for like the immediate kill with a double hit? This is all very difficult. It's safe or bold. The value of the double hit, you have to weigh these considerations in your mind. And even Mochy is not certain. I think, personally, yeah, I would probably jump out, because if you get hit with a deuce, it like costs a lot. I think I would personally choose to go for a gradual improvement of my position by just playing 21 to 18 and see how things develop. But of course it may be wrong. But I think this is best. I think this is best. Okay, Mochy goes for it. Good. I like the play. 3-5, there's a dance. And now, of course, Mochy has another challenging decision. We shouldn't forget that Sebastian has a very strong home board. The 6 point, the 5 point and the 4 point are really threatening. But there is the double, and apparently it is a very easy drop for Sebastian. So that was a complicated game with lots of decisions, hit or not for Mochy, prudent play or ambitious play. I think he handled it very well, showed some restraint. No need to panic, of course, in a 17-point match, and he's able to get a point on the scoreboard. So great start of this match. I don't know, we see people already in the chat. I see Simon Bargett is maybe my only viewer for the moment. 6-4 was correct by a mile. Okay, I think I thought so too, establishing the 18 points. Thank you, Simon, for the input. Okay. So good to have you with us, Simon. I hope you will be enjoying this match as much as I do. It's great to be here and watch this match from this privileged position here in Gibraltar. It's great to be able to watch Mochy play and see him deliberate with himself, weighing all the considerations in his mind. Sebastian also in full focus. Earphones. Okay. Five-two is an ugly roll, I would say. I don't like these rolls because you are like forced to hit, whereas white has a stronger board. So volatile position, the 4 is big for Mochy, has a 2 to play. I think coming up in the back, exerting some pressure on red's blot on the 9 point. Of course, you give him some 6s from the bar, maybe that's a consideration if you step up. Another option would be to play 13 to 11, bringing an extra builder for the 5 point, but you strip the midpoint in the process, so I think this is the right play. 3-6 hits from the bar, great. Wonderful. 5-2, that's a hit in the outfield. Good. So white, of course, is happy with this blot hitting contest and a dance by Sebastian. And now some volatility already. Red is on the bar, white has a stronger board, but finds himself with 3 checkers back. To me, this looks like an easy take. And the question is whether Mochy will go for the aggressive cube. There he does, and Sebastian passes. I will have my eye on the chat here if somebody can check this at home. I personally would have been really tempted to take this. Thank you, Emad Salib, also joining us. So we have already like 5 viewers already. Early in the morning, great. Take, what's that? 84 take, Simon says. That's what I thought. So a bit of a cautious, anxious pass by Sebastian. Mochy fumbling with the scoreboard. Okay, 2-3. Thank you, Simon, because we don't have XG feed and I don't have the time to put positions in the computer while I'm commentating, so it's great to have some feedback from you guys at home. The 6-2 was wrong, Simon says. I have to think what 6-2 that was. Okay, but let's focus on developments here in the next game. 4-2, both players have established their 5 point, so this may lead to a prime hitting contest. This is also always difficult. What do you do? Do you split in the back? I think you should, or double hit, I don't like it. I think 39 and split is probably best. I mentioned it before, I think it's called the Tardieu principle, after the French player François Tardieu. If your opponent splits, you should split. Mochy goes for the double hit. No idea whether it's correct or not. An ace is big for Sebastian. I think splitting was compulsory for Mochy because red seemed to be favorite in the prime versus prime game. We'll see how things develop. Double threes looks great. Hitting looks mandatory to me. And I would play up 24 to 21 and push my clock. Once again, this stage of a long match with a cube in the middle, there is not so much at stake. I mean, if you make an 80 millipoint mistake, it cannot cost you more than 0.4 in match winning chances. So it's I think it's wise to play at a good pace while the cube is still in the middle. Simon Bargett says correct. I don't know if he is referring to the 4-1. If he is, then I'm a bit surprised. But of course it's Mochy who's playing, so I should not really criticize his moves too much. There's always a great degree of a reservation in what I'm saying. Thank you, Patrick Bertrand from Germany. Thank you for the greetings and for the compliments. I will be here all day, hopefully with a co-commentator later today. I'm talking to people and I'm hoping to be able to lure some grandmasters into co-commentating with me. Okay, 5-1. Red in the meantime has established a stronger board. Seems to be slightly favorite. He's on roll. What to do? Safetying this blot looks fine to me. Ace with something else. With a 3. Okay. Okay. Good play, I think. Anchoring up. Aha, thank you, Simon, for saying that you referred to the 4-1. A hit by Mochy, double hitting, apparently was correct. Great play by Mochy. 3-1. Aha, Mochy shows with his index finger that he is considering making the bar point. That's one option. Another option would be to make the 10 point, bringing, what is it, a 9th checker in the zone and playing 6 to 5. I think I like this better. It's safe. You cannot fall victim to a 6 indirects. Okay, great play, I think. 6s, wow. That's a broken 5 prime. What to do? What to do with the last 6? Okay. This clears the midpoint, of course. It takes away a landing spot for the last checker. If red now rolls a 6-5, he hasn't gained full liberty. 6-4, making the 3. Looks good. Okay, so 6 rolls for Sebastian, which hit, and then of course he has other rolls in the front. Double 2s, 3-2, double 3s. So lots of good rolls. Is this enough to double? Hard to say. It is a prime versus prime position. He does double. Okay. So yes, but looks like an obvious take to me. 6-5, there it is, the 6-5, of course. No full liberty. An ace is huge for Mochy. He misses. He misses. Aha. Wow, interestingly enough, Sebastian misplayed his double 6s. Simon tells me that stepping out or coming out with the last 6, 24 to 18, was mandatory. A 100 millipoint mistake not to do so. So escaping was really big. Hard decisions, hard decisions. 5-3. Okay, so now Sebastian has to bring his checkers home against a deuce point game with a gap on the 4. So far from hopeless for Mochy. Okay, nice. 5-3, yeah, clearing the 8, I think is clearly best. So red should have at least, I think, 84% here, maybe even more. But he still badly wants to make his 4-point. It's not there, and 5-4 looks a bit ugly. You have to strip your 6-point, and now red has quite some ugly blot levers. 3s, that crunches partly. At least it has to, it ruins white's perfect board. I can hear a bit of a sigh of relief from Sebastian. He clears the 7-point, that's fantastic. Has no blot levers now, if I judge it well. 5-3, you run, good. Wow, Simon tells me that Sebastian's cube was almost a double whopper. Way too aggressive. In a prime versus prime game, 1 checker back, he should have waited a bit. Deuces, what to do? Yes, 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 I think you cleared the 6-point to start with. This looks okay to me, but I'm not good at these things. Okay, looks good to me. Yeah. Terje Pedersen also chiming in and agreeing with the fact that Sebastian's cube was a premature, to say the least. Mochy is forced to run, which should give Sebastian a great feeling here. He survived this bear-in against the deuce point game. Didn't have to leave a shot. Okay, so we are looking, I think we are looking at a 5-2 lead for Sebastian. It's still possible. Mochy will roll, of course. A couple of consecutive double 6s would do it. That was almost there. And now he drops because he has 9 checkers. And Sebastian had a 3 roll. Mochy is in the habit of squeezing out every little shred of equity till the end. I mean, even if you were to have to roll like 3 or 4 consecutive double 6s, he would go for it, and I agree with that strategy. You have to show respect to the game, and you never know when something freakish occurs like this. 2-1 slots and 6-1 makes the bar point, standard opening. 1. Do you make the 11 or do you step up? It's hard. I think I would make the 11, it's an asset. It guards against red's 6-4. That's another approach which may or may not be correct. I guess it's correct if Mochy plays it. 6s are great. Sebastian is in the driving seat in the opening stage of this first round match. What to do with the 3-1? I think I would anchor. Yeah, Mochy, thinking about it. Looking away into the distance. I agree with this play. Red would love to unstack. See, that's what he probably would have done if Mochy hadn't anchored. And now this blot on the 11th point looks a bit like a bit of a poisoned gift. I don't know, maybe, yeah, I'm not sure. Or if somebody can tell me whether hitting would be correct here. Hitting 18 to 14 and playing 18 to 16, I'm not sure about this. Double fours. We have Rain Baba from the Netherlands also watching us here. Thank you, Rain, for watching together here. Hope you enjoyed the live stream. 6-5. Do we have an even race here? It might well be. What is this? 70, 118, 119 for red, 119 for red, 70, 138. No, there's about 10 pips still in it after the roll, I think. So after this roll, my quick count tells me that red is about 10 pips up. Aha, Simon tells me that with the 4-2, red should have hit. It's a 60 millipoint mistake. Not to hit, I thought so. Hitting and playing 18 to 16 looked obvious to me with the duplication of 2s and 4s. So Sebastian doesn't seem to be on top of his game. I mean, there was a match he played in the UBC 2 days ago where he played at 0.33 till he made one big mistake. At the end of the match, spiking up his PR to 1.5. Shameful. And but he does play at a great pace. I mean, that's one thing to notice. Sebastian has spent 4 minutes in these first games, whereas Mochy has spent 14. And I think that's great play by Sebastian. 4-2. Early stages of the match with the cube in the middle, match-winning chances are pretty low. There is not much at stake. Cube is in the middle. Sebastian has a 3-point lead. You can afford, I think personally, you can afford to make an 80 millipoint mistake. It costs you less than 0.5% in match-winning chances. Why spend 2 or 3 minutes on something where you are not sure? It's a matter of strategy. Mochy, of course, is a representative of the more purist approach. Forced to play like this. Okay, Sebastian, having a good look at this position. I personally would not dare to cube this. What are the market losing sequences? I mean, it's only like high doubles or rolls which safety the blot from the 15-point and then get missed. But against white's 5-point board, I don't think I would risk it. So the volatility, in my opinion, a bit too low. Of course, another sequence would be a 4-3 for red, and then, of course, something has to give in white's position if he rolls a 6. White's position very brittle, extended, overstretched. So this may be something to take into consideration. It's not just white's or red's excellent rolls which could lose his market, but we are talking in sequences. So an average roll by red followed by an ugly roll for white could also lose the market. So let's have a look at Sebastian. He is giving this some thought, yes, frowning, and deciding to go for it. So he does go for the aggressive approach. It's more like a tactic which an intermediate player would use against Mochy, but I don't think the skill disparity between two players is big enough for Sebastian to adjust too much. So here is one of those sequences I mentioned. He rolls a 6-2, which safeties a blot from the 15. I think waiting is better, personally. I'm looking for feedback from at home, because now a 3 can cost you dearly. This is a bit of, I'm not sure. I mean, if this is correct, it's a bit of a gamble. And there is the 3. I would have waited because White's position was brittle and White would have been in trouble had he rolled a 5 or a 6. This was a doubtful choice by Sebastian, but of course it may well be correct, the pay now choice. Mochy, I think, is wise to lift the blot from the ace. He's still thinking about this position, had a sip of water in the meantime. Correct to clear, Simon says. Okay, great play by Sebastian. Grandmasterly play. I would have been too sheepish or too much of a chicken to play that one. That was a difficult decision. Go for the pay now play. And here Mochy is pondering. Should he leave the 3-point slotted? I don't think so, because if red dances, a recube might be in the air. We have Jens Averkamp from Germany, I think, joining in and seemingly happy with the commentary. I'm doing my best here, guys. It would of course be great. There is the predicted recube to 4. Now you have to count the race. It's a recube to 4. That means that Sebastian's take point is significantly higher than for money. He does take it. I mean, he's up in the race, I'm sure. But with a higher take point, his take point must be something like 28, 29%. 6-5. Sebastian needs a 3 to come in. It's an exciting match now with high volatility, cube on 4. A lot can happen, a lot at stake now. And now is a good time for Mochy to spend minutes. Now is a good time. Cube is on 4. That means if you make a 30, 40 millipoint mistake, it will cost you immediately 1 or 2% in match winning chances. So a lot more at stake now, rather than with the cube in the middle. So Mochy is justified in really trying to squeeze out everything he can here. 6-2, what to do? Does the 6 go from 15 to 9? Can you venture indirect shots here, or do you go for the outfield coverage? I'm not sure, but I think I would go for the builders, extra builders. Okay, but this is still safe. And there's the 3-6. I mean, it would have hit if Mochy had go for my play. Now Sebastian jumps out and is vulnerable to 4s, aces and 7s. That's 20, 21, 23, 23 shots, if I'm correct. That means 13 missers, so hugely volatile here. Wow, we don't see the heart rate as we did in the UBC challenge. We could follow players' heart rates. I'm sure in this position my heart rate would go up to 120, 130, because it's so big. I'm not sure this is correct. Hard to say. You compromise your racing chances by playing to... I think I would do that. I mean, there are 13 rolls, if I'm correct. 13 rolls which miss, and which would leave Sebastian... What is this? 5-4 hits. 5 and the 4, I mean. And the 5 goes there. Now Mochy is closer to home and does volunteer the 3-6. I'm not sure about this. I would consider playing the 5. What is this? Oh, it's double 4s. Oh, okay. Double 4s. I thought it was 5-4. Okay, so now white is up in the race. This is containment subject matter, very difficult. Mochy now not looking in the distance anymore, but with heightened focus. Okay, Simon tells me Sebastian was correct in jumping out. I thought so, with the 3-6. It was way more threatening to jump out. If you survive, you probably have a recube to 8. It's really helpful to have people at home giving me feedback on checker plays and cube decisions. Really helpful. I don't have the time to start fumbling with XG here. So Mochy is giving this a lot of time, and he is now really justified in doing so. This leaves a 3-5. So Mochy is going through the numbers, probably looking at rolls which make. He goes for the safe play. I think personally, in Sebastian's shoes, I would be happy if Mochy played like this. Because now if you jump out, you are favored to get missed. Okay, so now a 3-4, 3-5, 3-6 would be great, and there it is. You once again, no, Seb, I mean, come on. If this, I wouldn't do this. I would jump out. Jump out. Or maybe the race is now too close. That is also possible. Wow. Okay, Simon says no 190 blunder to come out. I'm a little unsure what it's all about now. Yeah, I don't understand what Simon means. Simon, what do you mean no 190 blunder to come out? Was it a blunder to come out, or was it a blunder not to come out? I'm a bit in the dark. Once again, Sebastian enters with a 3. It's not over yet. 5-3. Okay. Wow. So it looks like this is curtains for Seb. Big blunder. Big blunder to come out. Or big blunder not to come out. I'm not sure yet. It was incorrect to come out. Wow. Wow. Interesting subject matter. Double sixes gives Sebastian a glimmer of hope. He needs more high doubles, of course. So completely luck dependent here. This is a no-skill position. For me, these no-skill positions are a way to, you know, release some tension mentally. There's nothing you can do. It's out of your control. Take a deep breath and try to regain your composure and get your heart rate down. Wow, that was an exciting game. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody took a break. Yeah. So Sebastian's cube was premature. He does take a break. He must be a little shaken. I can understand it. Then he decided to go from the 15 point with his 6-2 and got hit with a 3. So unfortunate turn of events for Seb. Instead of being 9-2 up, he is 5-6 down. Okay, XG is missing, Dachiang. Yes, that's correct. I'm sorry about that. We don't have the staff in the early stages of this individual tournament here. So we'll take a break, a bit of a commercial break. I hope we'll be seeing you all back in probably 10 minutes or so. See you guys.
dance tonight as our bursting garden shoots intertwine. The creature comforts when we're cold, a cocoon to curling cuddle folds. When the creatures cover up our shoulders, enveloped, we almost forget to breathe. The stones lay in flower beds, you arranged and rearranged them to fit. It's creative fingers green, like the perfect mother I'd ever seen. Creature comforts when we're cold, a cocoon to curling cuddle folds. And when the creatures cover up our shoulders, enveloped, we almost forget to breathe.
Alrighty, players are back. Mochy won a big game, previous game. It was on a 4 cube. He was 5-2 down. Had a good hit. He could have been 9-2 down, but he was able to win that game and is now 6-5 up. (3-1), a choice once again for Mochy. Do you make the 5 point or do you anchor up? The 5 point looks great. Red doesn't have a very favorable attacking formation, although 4-2 is a great improvement in the front. From an inflexible position, he suddenly has a very flexible front position with the 4 and bar point made. Okay, Mochy of course needs to come in with a 5 and now has a choice of aces. Is it 9-8 or 6-5? Personally, I would play 9-8, you know, not in order not to be vulnerable on both sides of the board, but I'm completely in the dark as to what's correct. Yeah, that's another possibility. Okay. Interesting choice by Mochy. 6-5. The 5 looks clear, and so does the 6. Getting the back checker moving. 5-3 anchors, and think, yeah, what to do? Do you play 13-8? I think so. That's the tempo hit. It doesn't look good to me, but it may well be correct. I always have a hard time figuring out when to hit 6-1 with a 5. Okay, we see people in the stream wondering if the match Lars Trabold versus Mislav Kovacic is being streamed. Not for the moment, guys. We are working on it. The plan is to stream both matches simultaneously and maybe swap between the two matches. So we are working on the technical realization of this. But just give us an extra half hour or hour or so to figure this one out. Let's focus on this great match. 6-5. No way for Mochy to play this safe. This is a very pure play he is putting on the table, but what else is there? Mochy scratching his head. Yeah, all kinds of possibilities, Mochy. It's true, but you are down to 15 minutes, so you have almost burned half your time. It's a close score, 11 away, 12 away. The cube is in the middle. I wouldn't fret over plays which may only cost you 40, 50 millipoints. Hard to say. He went for an adventurous play. 13, 7, 6, 1. Wow, if it's correct. Fantastic. 3, 2 is great. What to do? No idea. Wow. Wow. Mochy plays this really fast. Maybe he's correct. A 4 for Seb. Ah, a 4. Okay. 5-2. This is like suddenly become a complicated game. Mochy has this checker on his ace point, which is not very pleasant. He has stripped 5 and 6 points, stripped 8 point, 4 checkers back. Whoa. If you are a perfectionist, as I guess Mochy is, then you can easily burn extra minutes here. Yeah, this is a possibility. But, okay, vulnerable to 3s and 4s which hit. So it looks like an ugly position for Mochy to have. I'm pretty sure that red is way up in the race. So cube territory cannot be too far away, would be my judgment over the board. I have already mentioned it, but I have come up with something I call conundrum equity. Sometimes the game throws a roll at you which confronts you with a puzzle. And a great player like Mochy might then be tempted to solve the puzzle. And you get into puzzle solving mode and burn minutes. I think it's also a skill to recognize that it's a puzzle and it will take you 3-4 minutes to figure it out, and maybe that's not worth your time on the clock. This just as a side remark. In the meantime, there is the cube, and I think it's a good cube by Sebastian. Well, Mochy takes. I think it's courageous. This is not a good roll for Seb. Not a good one. He would have loved to hit with 4s or 3s. He missed. And now suddenly white has, of course, a bit of counterplay. 6s will establish a little 4 prime, but yeah, of course, 6s with something. Ah, yeah, with the 5. That's great. Okay, the 5 out. It's rolls like 6-3 and 6-2, which would have been a little awkward, but this plays fine. I would feel quite relieved as Mochy. No feedback as yet from viewers at home as to the take decision by Mochy here in this game. Okay, 6-5. Mochy taking a half a minute over something that looked pretty plain. What do you do here? Yeah, strengthen your board before you run. I can live with that. This is a deuce with something else. Yeah. If it's a 3, I think it's a 4 deuce, okay. 3-2. All right. Some waiting rolls here. 5-1. Where to leave the blot? You cannot play safe. So maybe if you play 13-7, 4s are duplicated. If you play 16-9, 5s are a bit duplicated. Okay. Now, of course, if red hits, he is forced to give up the midpoint, so that might also be a consideration. 6-1, okay, good. Strengthening the board at the cost of a direct shot is thematic. Should be correct in my view. So Mochy happy, of course, now, with the cube in his possession. I don't think you can volunteer a shot here with red having a 4-point board. I think this would be my play here. Yes. So Sebastian still in board strengthening mode. 6-5. I think 13-2 is like the only thing you can do, right? Very inflexible then, of course, with too many points position. If you play 13-2, you leave yourself with, what is it, 6 stripped points in the outfield and 3 blots. This is a possibility. You strengthen your board, win some flexibility, but at the cost of a direct shot. I don't think the direct shot is a good idea. I think I would play 8-3 and 8-2. At least, well, you do give up your 4 prime, but at least you strengthen your board a bit. Let's see what Mochy comes up with. He's down to 11 minutes. Which is barely enough to play a 7-point match, and this is like a 12-point match. So Mochy is, I think, a falling victim again with falling victim to perfectionism a bit. Not, yeah. Cube is of course already on 2. So mistakes are a bit magnified in terms of match-winning chances. He does go for the flexible play at the cost of a direct shot. 4s would be great. There is the 4, but since the 4s were duplicated, he has no way, Sebastian, of covering. Only a 4-4 and a 4-5 would have done that. So huge volatility here. Mochy misses. Wow. And now Sebastian is in great shape. Anything that covers the deuce point. Okay, the 4 is huge. The 6 comes out, I guess. 2s are duplicated. 5-2, 5-3 are the only rolls that hit, and 5-5, but Mochy dances. So Sebastian is in great shape, and gammons are looming also. What to do here? Okay, kind of like this. So you want to bring your checkers home, and you have to weigh the risk. This, if you bring in 7-6, you only leave double 5s and 5-2. And even in that case, you always have a return ace. So now Sebastian is investing time. This leaves the same number of shots, but safety is the checker. Okay, good, good. I guess this is good. 5-4, entry number for Mochy. He should be really happy with that. Okay, so Sebastian isn't home yet. He has this midpoint to clear. Wow. Brrr. What to do? I think you make the 10 and bring the 7-point blot in. This is another pay now play. I'm not good at these things. Let's just see what Sebastian comes up. A bit of a wry smile we saw there. Budget enormous take. Aha. So great take by Mochy in this game. Remember, Sebastian cubed when he had 3s and 4s to hit and send the 5th checker back. But a very confident take by Mochy, which was hugely correct. Rain Baba tells me from the Netherlands, 242 millipoints, so confident take by Mochy. We have seen grandmasters make horrendous cube blunders in the previous 2 days. But Mochy is not vulnerable, it seems, to weak moments like this. So here Sebastian pre-clears his midpoint at the cost of 13 shots. Oh, these are very difficult tactical considerations. He rightly spends time on them, and he now benefits from his excellent time management in the early stages of the match. He does go for this pay now play. Wow, I would love some feedback from you guys at home, whether this is correct or not. It may well be, maybe I'm missing something. 10-6, 7-4 is correct, Simon tells me. Okay, thank you guys. So Sebastian is still left with this midpoint to clear. Any 6? Well, not any 6. But it will not be easy to clear this midpoint. In the meantime, Mochy has to... He hoped to make a 5-point board, so the blot is still there in Mochy's board, giving some breathing room for Sebastian. Let's see what happens. A bit disappointed Mochy must be with this roll. He would have loved to establish a 5-point board. So hoping for a high roll. This is it. 6-4 brings the checker in. Aces hit on 8s. And there is, of course, the chance of a... Yeah, I would say the chance of a re-hit from the bar. Mochy 6-5. What to do? Do you keep your midpoint and play 20-9? Which is frequently correct, especially if red has no spares on the 6-point, but now red still has a spare on the 6-point. I have no clue. I think you just play, I think this would be my play. I just play 2 down from the mid. It's a bit like throwing in the towel, but that's what he does. And a 7 is a great roll for Seb. So Seb is in the driving seat in this game, way up in the race. Looks like the 2 points will go Seb's way. Aha, dice on checker. Wow, funny moment. I'm not sure whether they played dice on checker or not. I was not there when it was discussed. It was not the fact in the UBC tournament, and I think they decided to leave it out in the UBC tournament precisely for the reason that it was not going to be dice on checker in the individual tournament. So I'm kind of surprised that they looked at this so carefully. Wow, 3-1. I mean, 6-1, 5-1 would have been horrible for Seb. He managed to avoid this anti-joker. But it's there once again, 6-1, 5-1. Would be hard stopping. There is the 5-1, wow. 5, and the ace, I think you hit. So a 5 would be a cruel swing. Would be, and there is the hit by Mochy. Wow, I mean, Sebastian is really getting beaten here. But he stays cool. I mean, psychologically, Sebastian is tremendously strong. It's amazing how he copes with defeat and with bad luck. He's very resilient, psychologically, mentally. Great example, I think, to all players. It's astonishing how well he can put things in perspective. This was a very cruel sequence. I mean, Sebastian had the game wrapped up and rolled just one of 4 rolls and got hit. Cruel sequence. Luck for the moment on Mochy's side. Mochy now 9 away, 12 away. So we're starting to get into lopsided score territory. Mochy should be careful with initial cubes because the trailer, Seb, has heightened recube vig. Yamimoto is watching us from Iraq. Wow. So we do have a global audience for the moment. It may only be 20 people or something, or 15, but it's still good to see that people are watching, backgammon lovers watching this match from the grandstand of the world. 6-4, what to do? Oh, double fours, excuse me. Double fours. You can hit and establish a point in board. You can make the 5, but you strip your midpoint. You leave a direct shot. It's very tough. Very tough. I would not be able to figure it out. And I think it's also one of the skills of a good player to know when his skill is insufficient. One look at this position would tell me that I have no clue, that the chance of me finding the right play are minimal, so I would just do something and press my clock. Knowing your own limits is also a skill, I think. Sebastian is reaping the benefits from his good time management in the beginning of the game. Pondering this, double hitting, okay. It may well be right with 10 checkers in the zone. He doesn't establish a permanent asset, so he doesn't make an inner board point. But he may have some blitzing opportunities should white miss. I think that's one of the considerations. Very hard to figure this one out. No way I could do it over the board. Okay, Terrier Pedersen tells us that yesterday had 300 watches. Of course, Mochy commentating, very prestigious event, the ultimate Backgammon Championship, a kind of candidates tournament, to talk in chess terms. Thomas Christensen in the post-match interview was very excited about the format. So let's hope that this Ultimate Backgammon Challenge format will become more robust in the future. But it's well on its way of becoming an established feature on the backgammon calendar. Yeah, the stimuli from the people at home says, I like Mochy's style when he gets shots and hits them. Yes, he hit them too in Australia like a week ago in the final of the Mega Super Jackpot or something. He was quite lucky there, but of course we all get lucky. So why wouldn't Mochy deserve some luck once in a while? 2-5. Awkward position now for Sebastian. 4 checkers back. A stacked position in his inner board. The 8 point has gone. Whoa. All factors which influence the game. 6-2 makes the 16 point, I would say. Okay. So ugly double fours for Sebastian, but the 6-5 is a good roll. Excellent. 4-6 leaves blots, or leaves at least, well, leaves blots. Direct shots. Once again, tricky. What to do? Hit and continue all the way to the 3 point? I think I would think that this was a reasonable play and push my clock. Mochy, of course, wouldn't be the player he is if he started to play in a lackluster way. Tries to squeeze out maximum equity. So he does play this. A 3 would be huge for Seb. He finds it. Good. Out, probably. Or 24-18. Depends on the race. Okay, good. That's a bit of a bad roll for Mochy. Forced to play a checker to the deep 2 point. Okay. Mochy hitting and covering. Doesn't seem to be much wrong with that, but as you can see, if you look at his hand, he is really counting the numbers. Great quality of a player, of course, to be able to count numbers well, count shots. But, wow, with a 9 away, 12 away score and the cube still in the middle and 8 minutes left. Okay, safe play. Probably best. There's the ugly 4. I think you safety your blot and you play 6-2. 93, 106, 130, 140, 144 for red, 144, 48, 100, 34, 36. Yeah. So Mochy up, I think, by 12 to 15 pips, something in that range. What to do with the 6-3? There is always this move of playing 16-10, 13-10, right? Establishing a good point at the cost of a shot and also preparing to clear. There is the hit, but no cover number. The 3, what to do? 13-10, why not? 13-10, yes. You want to maximize or your upside. 5-3 is a miss. Where to come in? I would have no idea once again. You come in here with a 5, that means you come in on the point that red most wants to make. So that looks risky. Jumping out, yes, good. Probably good, yes, I'm sure. 1-4, okay. So suddenly Sebastian with counterplay. 6-1, you make the bar at the cost of aces and 4-5. There is the ace, and you step up in the back in order to see daylight. Okay, 1-6, okay. But the race should now be clearly in Mochy's favor. 130, I think, for red. 62, 80. Yeah. Well, you cannot jump out and safety the checker. Wow. Okay, wow. Big play by Mochy, I think. 5s and 2s hit, and there is the 5. Okay. A dance by Mochy, a cube. Good. I like the cube. I like it. Even if it were only because it poses your opponent with a problem. What to do? What to do? Red has 11 checkers in the zone. 3-point board, a double shot. Oh, but still some work to do to bring the checkers around. Wow, I would have no clue of this. This is too complicated. And a bit scary too, because, I mean, I wouldn't be sure. I mean, is taking a big blunder? Is dropping a big blunder? I think probably leading by 3 points in a position which is gammonish. Look at rolls like aces, deuces, 5s. Anything which hits the blot on the 17 point followed by a dance. No way for me to be able to quantify this. I think I would drop. Somebody says, Thomas Hansen says I would drop in approximately 12 seconds. Okay, good to have that feedback. At least I'm not alone. Simon Bargett, who is probably transcribing at home, says that Mochy is now at a record high PR. Wow. Well, that's of course great. I mean, it must give great satisfaction to be at record high PR, but look, he has under 6 minutes left for a 9 away, 11 away score. I mean, this is flirting with danger. But maybe we underestimate Mochy's capabilities of playing under time pressure, but still, I mean, yeah, it's food for discussion. Let's see how the game develops. At least Sebastian was able to pinch a point, or pinch his defeat to only 2 points. 5-2, good. Exciting match, exciting match. 4s, 1-2, 3-4. Ah, yes, you can make the 4 and continue. Yeah, all kinds of tactical difficulties here. Sebastian at least has time, and he has the skill to figure this out. He goes for the blitzing move. Mochy needs an ace and doesn't find it. Too thin for Seb to consider a cube. 6-4 points, I think. Points on the deuce. A dance would probably mean a double. But no, Mochy finds the ace and the 4. He has choices. I think you give a good 6 if you jump out to the 18 point, so I guess he will play 24 to 20. Right. Not giving good 6s from the bar, maybe the theme. Okay, there is the 6 from the bar, now it's uncomfortable. Yeah, do you put a dilly builder on the 4? Maybe, maybe not. Simon tells me that with the 4-4, Sebastian should just have made the 5 point. That was my instinct. Okay. The 2 establishes an anchor, and the 6, 13-7 I would say. Yeah, you give more shots, or you give a lot of shots, but if you get missed you have a big upside. 3-5. Maintaining connectivity, good. Okay, full screen for the moment, good. 1-2. So once again, Mochy finds himself confronted with tactical decisions. I mean, at a certain moment he will have to speed up, is my feeling, is my hunch. Okay, unstacks the 6 point while duplicating 3s. See, otherwise the 3-1 would have made the 3 point. Now it hits, of course, correct. Ace, good. Okay, Mochy. Alrighty, the ace is there, but lots of stripped points, so difficult to play. Which 6? You have a 5-1 backgame structure, so I think this would tempt me to start playing purely and play 11-5. This is another possibility. So Mochy will probably find the right play at the cost of 20 seconds. 3-2, alrighty. Good hit. It improves timing, but I'm not sure whether this is already relevant in this middle game phase of the game. Sebastian pondering a cube. 5-1 backgame is not strong. What do you need here to ship the cube? I'm not sure. Okay, I like the cube. Even if it's only for the fact that I have no idea whether it's a take or not. Mochy takes. I think I would take. The 5-1 backgame is very playable if black has a lot of work to do. Also, black's or red's inner board is not ideal. 2-1, yes, and the 2 goes to the 7 maybe. Is that your plan? Make the bar point and fence in the checkers on the 24 point. No clue. This is purely tactical. Backgame checker play. Once again, I would have no clue, so I would do something and press my clock. Sorry, that's my style. Maybe I get lucky and have the right solution. The 3-5 is good for Mochy, coming in, bringing in both checkers. Okay, Sebastian keeps hitting, good. I think it's good. Of a holding game. Aha. Jess Danielson, hi Jess. Great of you to come and watch, and thanks for the input. We shouldn't consider this to be a back game, Jess tells me, but more of a holding game. But now, of course, I think personally, I'm not sure, but with red having established a 4-point board, really? Is this not a back game now? Pure sang? Maybe it's a matter of terminology. Hi Jess. Okay, red wants to come in. I mean, Mochy wants to come in. He doesn't. 6-5. What to do? I don't know. Yes, this looks like the obvious 5 and the obvious 6. Okay. 1 and 3. I think you play 8-5. I don't see the value of hitting. I don't think you want to give up your midpoint. Of course, Mochy knows this. I mean, he is well known for his insights in back games. But once again, this is it's so tempting for Mochy to find the right play. Okay, a guy there standing and blocking our view. I mean, I hope somebody will pinch him by the ears and get him out of our view. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, that's 1-3, 2 out maybe? Or is that too bold? A dance. Okay. So Mochy is now looking at establishing a presence in the outfield. Probably by playing 24-14. Okay, 5-3. Yeah, what to do? Do you jump out with a 5 to establish more outfield control? But of course you don't want to get hit and end up on the bar. 5-2. Sebastian now a bit constrained. The back checker badly needs to get out. Here this 5-2. Okay, at least aces are slightly duplicated. Deuces. I don't know. No idea. 1-2. 3-4. Mochy doesn't like it because the 9 point doesn't work well with the 3 points. He does still make it. Sebastian needs to jump out. He can't, but brings a checker to safety. So at least he is bearing in checkers, which is like part of the work he has to do. Okay, so Sebastian needs to jump out. Sixes do that with a hit. Huge joker for Seb. Mochy wants to come in. Wants to come in. Okay. So I think Sebastian would love Mochy to keep dancing for a while so he can bring his checkers in at ease. Of course, he has already cleared the 8 point. He has cleared his outfield points. So he should be in great shape if he can bring the 2 checkers in. He can't. He leaves a direct shot, I think, 6 and 5. So there are jokers here for Mochy, 3-1, 3-5. Wow. Whoa. What to say? Wow. And yeah, okay. Mochy's recube vig, of course, severely restricted. Sebastian is looking up at the heavens. He needs a good roll here. An ace is already something, but Mochy is in good shape to make the bar point and become, I think, favorite in this game. No, not this time. Not this time, and now the question is, does he leave his bar point slotted? Huh. Do you leave your bar point slotted or not? I mean, you guys, if you can tell me, I have no clue. I think you do, because the upside is huge. If you get missed, you can make your bar point. I don't think this is right. And if you get hit, at least you have your 5-1 backgame structure to fall back on. Mochy decides not to leave the bar point slotted. 6. Wow, it's a double hit. And I think the double hit is mandatory. Right, that's exactly what you want. You improve white's timing, would be my reasoning. But at least you enhance your gammon rate. Okay, flexible for the bear off. Good. 1-3 and 5-3. Don't tell me that Mochy is going to find it. No, he doesn't. Okay, so high gammon rate, I'm sure, in this position, but at least good, reasonable winning chances left for Mochy. So very volatile. Sebastian can easily win 4 points, maybe even 6 points. A double 6 or something would have really yanked up his backgammon chances, but he can of course still lose. Where to play the deuce? I don't know, he has completed his full roll. Okay, 4-6, another dance. Clearing the 6 will be huge for Seb. He does. That's a great roll, a great one, almost assuring a gammon should he win. I was just going to say small chances of a back game, a backgammon, but this double 5 gets that out of the picture. Double 6s is great, but you need to get missed. Mochy composes himself, knows that there's a big roll coming up. A 3 would do it. He misses this time. Oh, Sebastian remaining super cool. Okay. Wow, 6s once again, and so, wow, the backgammon is still in the picture. Another high double. Brrr. Okay, Seb, dependent on the rolls, no deuce, 5-3. Wow, chances of a backgammon in this game here. Any double apart from aces would lock up a back game where it's 2-ace. Oh my God. I don't like to use the 3-letter word at the end of my expression there. And there's the, oh no, it's not. It's, you should roll in the board. An ace would be cruel. 6-2 saves the backgammon but concedes the gammon. What an exciting game this was, and so difficult already in the beginning with Sebastian's double 4s, which according to Simon he misplayed. We don't know how big of a mistake it was. Wow, shall we have another break, guys? Yeah, shall we have another break? The score is 7 away, 9 away. We'll be back in something like between 5 and 10 minutes. Thanks very much, guys, for your input. See you later.
darling, cuddle folds. And when the creases cover up our shoulders, enveloped, we almost forget to breathe.
I lose on time.
Okay, everybody at home, we're back. There's Mochy, fueling up with some orange juice. I think he would prefer to fuel up with some minutes. I think he would gladly trade that orange juice for 3, 4, 5 minutes on his clock. Let's see how he does with 3 minutes and 33 seconds left for a 9 away, 7 away score. 4, 5 hits, good. So I think Mochy will have to speed up now. I feel that he cannot afford to keep playing in such a deliberate way. Otherwise, he will find himself in trouble exactly at the time when most match-winning chances are at stake. Maybe I can tell you guys that, of course, there's another match going on between Mislav Kovacic and Lars Travold. Unfortunately, I don't have a view of the scoreboard. So I really can't give you any update yet. I promise that during the next break or after this match, you will get an update on that. Okay, Seb. Yes, that looks good. Yeah, you can continue or you can play 13-8. I think I would be strongly tempted to play 24-18, 13-8, but maybe even bringing 2 down from the mid is an option. You have a stronger board, more checkers back, so maybe you can afford to play boldly. Yeah, once again, something you can think over like 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and eventually come up with the wrong play. That would be my play. Okay, 5-3. Okay. So we get some input here from one of our viewers, Rain Baba from the Netherlands, saying that he is also live transcribing. He started at game 5 or 6, and Mochy's PR was like a little under 8. So quite some checker play mistakes by Mochy in the last games. Maybe already caused by time pressure, it's hard to say. A 3-2 for Seb. Ah, yes. Ah, thank you. Okay, thank you. So 5-2 to play. Mochy, what to do? Okay, this... you could also hit in the outfield. That's, of course, once again, conundrum... the conundrum thing about backgammon. Suddenly, in time trouble, you are confronted with a puzzle. You hit in the outfield or make a point in board, and it's so tempting for a perfectionist like Mochy to spend 10-20 seconds on that. Sebastian dances with boxes from the bar, never pleasant. Now needs a 5. It's there, okay. Lady Luck finally smiling a bit on Seb. Although he was also a bit lucky in the previous game. Getting the gammon. Lucky, unlucky, it swings both ways. Ace 3. Wow. I don't see anything else but making the 20 points and then you have a 3 to play. I wouldn't have a clue. I wouldn't have a clue. So no use speculating. Let's see what they do. Or what Sebastian does. Yeah. In the meantime, I can tell you that in the Lars Trouble to Mislav Kovacic match, Lars is leading 12-7. 12-7 for the moment. So Mislav is having an uphill struggle in his match against Trabi. 1-4 for Seb, hits, sends a checker back. I don't think it would be wise to settle into this 5-3 backgame structure when you still have possibilities to go forward. That I know. 2-4. 4. Plenty of checker play options. Sebastian at least has time. He has more than 16 minutes left versus less than 3 for Mochy. That all makes it quite fascinating for us to watch. And Mochy, I fear, will be tempted to prove his skill and try to find the optimal play at the cost of seconds. I don't want to hammer too much on this, on the time management, but it is kind of glaringly apparent that this is a risky strategy. 3, okay. Choices for Seb. Do you go for the outfield point or the hit? The hit is great, I think. You send the second checker back. You have a stronger board. And there's always freakish rolls from the bar. For white, 6-4, what to do? This is pure. Okay. I like it, probably right. 3-1. Wow. Yep. You slot the 4 or do you slot the bar? It's one of the two. Mochy slots the 4 point. Good. A 5 hits. The deuce probably comes up, but in the back, but no clue. Yeah, staying back with the back checker is maybe the right idea. Probably the right idea. Aha. So Seb now has aces and 3s which hit. Of course, if he can send the second checker back and make the 3 point, he would be in cube territory. Would be my uneducated guess. There's the ace. What to do? What to do? Problem is, if you cover your 3 point, you are a bit in trouble as to where to play the 5. Or do you send the second checker back and hope to cover later? I think I would, yes. I think I would do that. Oh, it's a 1-4. Okay, that's good. Because Mochy is really unlikely to come in and cover his blot. Like here, 2-6, what to do? If he jumps out, red has 5s, aces and 3s. So, quite volatile. 2 blots, monster board, but down in the race he goes for it. Takes initiative. I don't know. Anybody who has a clue what to do? You are down. Wow, Mochy takes confidently. Looking forward to your input, guys. No idea. Lots of people would have chickened out, I think. Okay, so now a lot in the balance. Mochy has a 2 cube, and he knows he has huge recube vig. At this score, I assume that Sebastian has a take point close to 30%, maybe 28, 29. So that means a powerful cube in Mochy's decision, but at the risk of being gammoned. And complicated checker plays here, very complicated. You have to go through the numbers, look at rolls, which I don't know what to do here. Yeah, okay. So Mochy badly needs to come in, preferably with another deuce or 4. And a 3 or an ace would be huge for Seb. There it is. Wow. Now I like Sebastian's chances big time. He has everything. Except maybe race, or maybe even already race. 102, 150, 176 I think for Mochy. 85, 100. Yeah. So Sebastian is definitely 40 pips up. And he has the time now. Now he has the time. Now that push comes to shove, he has the time, because now there's like loads of match-winning chances at stake. Okay, Rain Baba tells me from the Netherlands that the take for Mochy was very easy. 250 millipoints had he dropped. I still found it a courageous take. 4-1. Yeah. You have to balance priorities here. What's your priority? Is it making the bar point, your own bar point, and establishing a 5-point prime? Or is it getting your back checkers moving? Blitz connectivity, they call it. Sebastian is bringing checkers into the attack zone, aiming at a closeout. 5s, 1, well, wow, monster roll. And and now you have a choice. Now you have to start connecting your checkers. I'm not sure about this. I think you can also afford to already leave your 20-point anchor. This is a bit inflexible and stiff, but may well be correct. Yeah, Sebastian is going for the closeout. Exciting stuff. 6-4, there is the closeout, and now he has to hope he doesn't roll double 3s, or what is it? Yeah, double 3s. Okay. Sebastian made a great blunder in the UBC in exactly a position like this. He had his 2-point slotted, he rolled a 6-4, where he could make a perfect closed board, but left himself vulnerable to like 13 rolls which broke his board. And he chose to close the board, and it was a 160 millipoint blunder. Yeah, he was afraid of the deuce from the bar. So difficult decisions, but this shouldn't be too difficult. But it's good and comfortable to have time to look at these things. The 3 comes up and jumps out, and you have to make sure rolls like double 4 play well. Double 2, you don't want to crack your board or crunch your board. Yeah. Wasana Chatau asks if brackets are visible somewhere. I was told that they are visible, Wasana, on the Facebook page of Backgammon Gibraltar. Gibraltar Backgammon, and then the Facebook page. So good luck with, oh, somebody says that draw boss. Draw boss. Good. Alrighty. So, Sebastian, good. I mean, yeah, this is a perfect illustration of good time management. Sebastian played a little, we would call it carelessly in the beginning, sacrificing some equity, but at a stage of the match where there is not really much at stake. 17 away, 17 away. And now he's reaping the benefits. I think I would just play 16 to 10 here. You don't want to fall victim to double fours or something. 16 to 10 would be my play. Yeah, maybe he's looking at double fives. Leaving nothing to chance. So I like it. I mean, a great illustration of good time management. He shifts gears. He's able to shift gears, sensing when there's a lot at stake and when not. Okay. There can't be much wrong with 16 to 8. Double sixes, of course, is the only roll which would be hard stopping. Now double fives look, okay, 6-5, good. You're never out of the woods in these positions. I'm not sure about this. Can't you afford to pre-clear your 6 point? Because the gammon looks a certitude. Okay. Sebastian wants to avoid rolls like 6-1 and 5-1. There is the worst one. Worst. Yeah. Looking up at the skies, why me? You need an ace or a good. Well, that's good for Seb. Yeah, pre-clearing, sensing that the gammon is a sure thing. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there it is. So it really looks like the gammon is in the bag for Seb, which would bring him to a 14-8 lead. 3 away, 9 away. So this is maybe a good opportunity for me to tell you guys at home that there will be like coverage of the action all through the day with commercial breaks in between. We cannot guarantee that there will be commentary like really all through the day. But I'll do my best. I think I will need my first food at 6 o'clock tonight or something, 7 o'clock tonight, but by that time there may be a second commentator available. And I can also tell you that after the match has finished, I talked to both players before the match. they are both willing to come to our studio here and give a little talk. So maybe you don't want to run away right after the match. If you give us 10 minutes or so, we should be able to come up with an interview. If you have questions you would like to ask Mochy or Sebastian, let me know. No silly things like what did you eat this morning, but things that have to do with backgammon. Okay? Sorry, I'm that kind of tight-ass guy. All right, so 5-6. Mochy pondering a cube. Of course, alrighty, very good. He has established a point in board. He has, there is some volatility, but it looks a bit premature, but at this score it may well be okay. Eric Peterson, it's before 6 a.m. and he's watching backgammon. I'm glad you love it, Eric. I'm exactly your type of guy. I would also get up early in the morning to watch this. Deuces are an unfortunate roll for Seb. 6-4, that's a hit. And suddenly this apparently or seemingly premature cube by Mochy is paying off, or might pay off big time. A pointing number would be great. Yeah, just point, it's a blitz. Any point in board is valuable. 10 checkers in the zone in the meantime. A nice entry number for Seb, another pointing number required. There it is. Oh, no, no, no. It's a 5-2. 2, 5. Wow. Huge roll coming up for Seb. He needs a 4 or aces or 5s. Otherwise, he's in trouble. 5 and 4. 5 and 4, wonderful. Wow. Well, wonderful, I say, wonderful for the red player. I have to admit that I kind of wish a bit of luck on Seb, because he was so cruelly eliminated from the UBC event, playing such a fantastic PR. But sometimes backgammon is a little unjust. So I think the guy deserves a break. Of course, as a commentator, I should be impartial, but I apologize if I find trouble masking my my sympathy for this young, promising player. Okay. Question to Mochy. Somebody wants to ask why to take a cube. Was going too high. Knows it take. Yeah, I understand Burak Kulhachi's question. He is asking why Mochy didn't consider dropping, what was it, a 200 or 300 millipoint take. I think it's a very valid question, but I think Mochy is too much of a numbers guy to consider things like that. You know, Bill Roberty said play the numbers, and I know that Tim Cross from the UK is also a almost religious believer in playing the numbers regardless of the strength of your opponent. I don't agree. I think you should adjust if there is like a 3 PR, 4, 5 PR gap between you and your opponent. But we can ask him. I think that's a great question. In the meantime, the sting is out of Mochy's promising blitz. He had a very promising blitz, played it as perfect as he could, but Sebastian found an excellent 5-4 from the bar, taking the poison out of Mochy's blitz. Now, of course, Sebastian is faced with the tactical challenge of bringing his checkers home. 4-2, I see. What to do? 21-17 and 8-6 is safe for the moment, but is bound to leave shots. Yeah, It's hard to weigh these things. How threatening is white's board? How dangerous is it to be hit? Can you afford to make the 4-point? Then you are, of course, vulnerable to double hitting rolls like 5-4, 5-3, double 3. I wouldn't know what to do. Instead goes for the safe alternative. I can live with it. It may well be correct. A 2-1. Yeah. So many tactical possibilities for Mochy, and no time to think about it. Yeah, these are difficult decisions. I think Sebastian has to find some balance between risk and purity. What kind of risk is he willing to take to improve his position? See, like this looks like the most natural play, but double 3s from the bar would hit 2 checkers. I have no clue in these tactical positions. Hans Marius is saying that, of course, the fact that Mochy only has 9 checkers in the zone should give red a bit of leeway in making a play involving some risk, like here. I mean, getting hit is probably not too dangerous because white's board is severely compromised. White's front position really doesn't look that threatening. But Sebastian has the time to consider this with a lot of deliberation. This stuns me a bit. Now double 3 is even more crushing because it not only double hits but also makes the 4-point. Is this pretty plain to anybody at home here? This is a kind of a pay now play, trying to clear the 17 point at the cost of 17 shots, I think. 5s and 4-6. 6-1. Wow. Yeah. It doesn't look as if 24-18 can be correct. Unless the pip count is really misleading me, I don't think so. 84 and 36 is 120, 137, 137, 62, 104. Yeah, the race is close-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, of course, it isn't. If Sebastian survives this, he may have smooth sail home, but no. The hit is crucial for Mochy. Okay, so we are in that scenario where red got hit. Now dances on this 3-point board. Can't be a 2-1. It can't be aces, so what is it? A 3-1? Okay. 5. 4-3. Okay, some outfield control, assuring a double shot should Sebastian not be able to safety the guy from the 20 point, but deuces of course is strong, hitting, making the 11 and the 4 point, a 3, a bit of a lifesaver for Mochy. The deuce, do you come down? Maybe, maybe not. A bit of a relief for Seb, anchoring up and attacking. So at least counterplay here for Mochy, a dance, unpleasant. 4-1, that's also a bad roll. That's a bad roll. Difficult, what to do. 4 stripped points in the outfield. What to do? Maybe jump out with the 4 and lift, I don't know. Okay, he sacrifices the 11 points. That gets hit. So counterplay from Mochy. In the meantime, he has caught up in the race for sure. Okay, this comes in and safeties the blot on the 11. Okay. So mutual holding structure. Aha, Sebastian was considering hitting on the 5. I think he's okay here. 3-1 is not a good one. You would have loved to jump out with the back checker. Doesn't happen. Sebastian hoping for a joker. This looks like strong. Making, what is it? Making the 10. Looks like the way to go. In time trouble, this is what I would do. Sebastian has the luxury of being able to look at this carefully. I think it's the right play. So now once again, Seb is probably favorite in the race. 70, 96, 121, 121 for Seb, 62, 75, 83. Oh no, it's close-ish, close. 4-2 for Seb, what to do? Yeah. Yeah, okay. 2s and 4s, diversification of numbers, but Mochy dances, so that's good. I think Sebastian, from the corner of his eye, noticed that white had a blotting board, so he could afford to be hit indirectly. 4s, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so Seb now doesn't want anything more than come home. 3s. Okay. Seb now a huge favorite in this game to go to Crawford 9 away. Still stripped points, slight inflexibility. See what happens. 3-4. You have to play safe. To the 4 probably. Sixes. Wow. Brr. Yeah, 1, 2. Okay, I think white is up in the race. 5-2. Wow. Wow, you may have to play 6-1 and 4-2. I mean, clearing a point in the outfield leaves blots. Maybe you can hit from the 8 point, leaving 13 shots. Yeah, I think this is like the recommended play, giving no shots. I like it. That's what I would do. Okay, you're hoping for a pointing roll or a pick and pass. Oof. Yeah. Yeah. You can clear the 9 point. Question is, are you up in the race? You need time. 74, 81 for red. 30, 51, 70, 82, 89. So the race looks even. So that may be a reason to keep the 9 points. But of course you don't like to put 3 checkers on the ace either, especially at a stage when white's board is bound to improve. I still think this is the best play with the race so close. This covers or makes the 5. Okay. Okay, now there is no choice for Seb. 74, 77, 47, 69, 81. So race is even. And Seb also down now to 3 minutes. So he burned a lot of time in the last 2-3 games, changing his fast way of playing for very deliberate play. Shouldn't overdo it though. Now this is too much. I think this is overthinking the position. Would you guys give a 5-2 and a 4-3? When I think this is needlessly risky. I think it is needlessly risky. But I mean, guys, if it's correct, please let me know. Alrighty. Okay, a pointing number is what you hope for. Yeah, pick and pass leaves only 2 shots. No, 4 shots. Oh my, 5 shots. 5 shots. Is it justified? It's a miss. It's a miss. Game's not over. 4-5 is a pointer and a great one, a joker roll. Mochy now in trouble, needs to come in. Or Seb needs to roll like an anti-joker. Okay. I think I like the other one better. Just from an optical viewpoint. We don't know. This looks a bit smoother. Prepares to clear the 6. Probably not a big deal. Somebody says that 10-6 was correct. That's probably one of the previous rolls by Seb where he gave shots where I wouldn't have. Ah, yes. I see, of course, the recube. Thank you for reminding me, guys. The recube, sure, of course. I know, 9 away, what is it? 9 away, 1 away if Mochy drops, which is like 4%, So you are quite right, Hans Marius. Mochy has a single-digit take point. We can even be a bit more confident and say that he has a 4-point, I think a 4-point take point. But yes, we shouldn't forget that Sebastian can still win this with a cube. Maybe here when Mochy dances, yeah, this is a good one. Ah, perfect, perfect, yes. I had lost sight of the cube, to be honest. And Mochy knows he doesn't have the required 4%. I think it is. So Crawford 9 away. What is it? 5.6%. 5.6%. So Mochy needed 5.6 or percent to take this cube and judged that he didn't have it. Yes, I lost sight of the cube action there. Thank you, Hans Marius, for reminding me. Ah, yes, yeah, I'm wrong. Of course we are wrong. Because the recube to 4 and then Mochy's automatic recube to 8 doesn't take him to 100%. So we are completely wrong here. His take point is much higher. A lot of confusion. A lot of confusion. Yeah, thank you, Simon. Very interesting input. True. Yeah. Yes, of course. If Sebastian had given the cube to 4, Mochy had recubed to 8 and have won the game, he would have been Crawford 3 away, so he would only have 75% and not 100%, which of course makes his take point go up from 7.5 to, I don't know what, 13, 14 or something. Yeah. Alrighty. So very good developments for Sebastian, who is now also around the 2-minute mark, and Mochy 1 minute. But we are in the Crawford stage of the match. Still a lot can go wrong. So let's have a look. Yeah. 4-1. So most of the time, of course, Sebastian will comfortably bring his position home and win the match. But other things may also happen. We can get into post-Crawford territory. Let's just see what happens. A 6-4 for Mochy. Yes. This might well be the DMP play. Gammons against are of course worthless. Yeah, being so close to the finish line might trick Sebastian a little bit. He shouldn't overdo his deliberate play with 1.5 minutes. Personally, I would feel comfortable with 1.5 minutes at Crawford. But it may be a false sense of security. Deuces. What to do once again? Yeah. Do you point on the 3 or do you get rid of your 18-point anchor. Ah, yes, double hitting. I'm sure this is the play when gammons count. But here I remember something Mark Olsen told me. I mean, you are very vulnerable now to aces or double fives. I'm not sure whether it was correct or not. Okay, but Sebastian is almost out of the woods, barring a double five from Mochy. So I feel that we are approaching the end of this exciting match. Very difficult decisions in the meantime. Very difficult decisions during the whole match. We saw some flashes of brilliance from both players. High level of play. I don't really care what the computer says. Sebastian played at a quick pace at the beginning of the match and then tightened up. Sensing the end of the match coming closer. Okay, so really slim chances now for Mochy to pull this one out of the fire. Yeah, this looks like a run race, of course. So once again, we will try. Both Sebastian and Mochy promised to come to the studio here for a post-match chat. Okay, but Sebastian doesn't want to roll another 5-1 like he did in the previous game. No, he clears the point. And now Mochy should or can resign. But of course he doesn't. Anything with an ace? No. Alrighty. Great match. And thank you very much, guys, for your input. I lost my way here and there, but you brought me back on the right track. So that's much appreciated. So this match will soon be finished, unless Mochy dances here and Sebastian rolls a double. This would be really freakish. No, it's over. So great match for Sebastian, a great boost it should be for him. And Mochy doesn't look like he is much concerned about it. So we look forward to a little chat in maybe 5 or 10 minutes. We'll see each other for the moment. Bye, guys. Okay, welcome back everybody. As promised, we are here with two great players who served a fantastic first round match here at the Gibraltar Open 2020. The winner, Sebastian Wilkinson, you get the first word in.
Thank you.
Obvious question. It must give you a good boost of confidence to have beaten Mochy here in this first round.
Yeah, for sure. Really, always a pleasure to play with him, and yeah, not the draw I was looking for. But you know, you can just focus on trying to make good decisions, and really, I was just trying to enjoy it, being here, playing, and just sort of soaking it in, and you know, whatever happens. So
that's a great attitude. High performance fun, they call it. It should be great to play here in this arena. Mochy, I think being the player you are, you can live with this defeat, or are you really like a bit dejected or disappointed?
Yeah, I mean, naturally I'm disappointed, but what can I do? He's a good player, and I play my best. But of course, looking back my game, obviously I could have done better at some point, you know, especially time management. Once again, I made bad time management, and last 10 games, basically, I played under 5 minutes or so. But that was me, you know, my weakness. So I should accept and just start again.
Do you feel any urgency to remedy this weakness, or do you feel it's like a structural weakness you badly need to repair, or is it like your comfort zone and you can't just help yourself or something?
No, I mean, some matches I can play better, I mean, in time management wise, but this particular game, well, maybe out of practice a little bit the last few days, and just doing commentary and didn't work out my games. So this is one of the reasons I think sometimes good, sometimes bad. Of course, definitely I'm working on it, and I think it's can overcome in the future. I mean, I'm doing a little bit better if you look back 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Well, it really looked like there were two different styles of play. I mean, Sebastian played fast in the beginning. It looked like you were willing to sacrifice some equity when there was not really much at stake, like in the opening game of the match. And then you changed gears towards the end of the match. Your play became very deliberate towards the end of the match, and you invested minutes in finding the right checker play.
right.
How did you feel towards the end of the match when you were also like dropping below a minute with a 9-away, 1-away score? I mean, it still feels a bit tricky to me.
Yeah, not optimal. Definitely burnt too much time on a few of those games, and maybe I was overcautious in looking for bad numbers. But generally, I'm happy. You know, we've talked about managing the time that way, where the cost is very, very small at the start of the match, and also just getting into the game, and then the swing becomes really important at the end. And I know that he usually gets low on time anyway, so he would be in more pressure, if you like, when I can just sit there and I don't have to play at his pace, right? Because I'm also a time abuser in the past, so I know that it's much easier when someone's playing at the same rhythm as you, and when someone can just sit there and take a few minutes, then you know, they have a big edge, I think, in these important spots. So
I agree.
Yeah, generally happy with the management, but again, still can do better, and definitely could have made better decisions. Didn't feel too sharp, but just tried to, like I said, try to enjoy it and make some good decisions maybe, and hope it worked out. And yeah, it seems rolled the right numbers at the right time. That's
yes, but there was a bit of a brutal swing, I think, when you were leading 5-2. Oh
yeah, this
you
game.
were like on the verge of winning a gammon, but you got some shots, late game shots, and then suddenly it became 5-6, and it was close again instead of suddenly being 9-2. So I thought that was a big swing in this, I don't know what, 4th or 5th game of the match. But
Yeah, that was important because also like, confidence-wise, I felt pretty stupid for cubing because I didn't have a reference for this position. I just counted the race and I just thought, this must be okay. Then obviously I rolled the number I was thinking about, 6-2.
Yes.
He hit.
Yes.
But when he lifted the checker, I was like, okay, I'm going to pass if he leaves it slotted, right?
Yes.
But, well, I guess I'm passing, yeah. But he lifts it and now I'm like, well, I have to take this recube. I think I have to take it. I can't adjust too much at this score. But then I'm like, now I can get gammoned, and when you lose one of those games, suddenly you start questioning everything, and you think, "Wow, did I just completely ruin like, having a lead and being in a good spot and having an advantage?" So this is more than the swing in the score. This is a momentum kind of shift in terms of what's going on.
The tricky thing was, I think, that you were leading 5-2, so your take point should be, for a recube, should be something like 29%. So that made the position slightly tricky. But you played well with the 3-6 you rolled from the bar. I think it was you hesitated between coming out, stepping into the 23 shots, or staying behind.
Right.
And
I always sorry, go on.
No.
I was just going to say I always get this decision wrong, so it's in my head that I'm basically guessing, and I just tried to look at the risk and reward. Right, when he misses, I thought this is great. Like I'm in the race, it's basically level, and maybe I have a shot and something. If I stay back, I still have to go through this procedure of escaping getting missed. But so often, you want to stay back because it's awkward for him. He has 3 blocks to clear up, and you're still kind of shooting at some fly shots, and you can still run later. But yeah, that's just lucky I got it right because I still don't know how to categorize these positions. And
well, Simon said that it was like a 200 millipoint mistake in that position to jump out into the 23 shots. You really had to play 7-1.
Yeah.
Did you have a feeling about that checker play, Mochy, that you thought, that's a big mistake, or is your mind not working in that way?
Wait. Which is the better play, coming out or staying back and play 7-1? Which was
saying 7-1 is best, which I felt like it was after we made it.
Okay. So you jump out to
23 shots. It was 4s, aces, and another 7.
I was quite happy that he came out. Now I have like 23 numbers.
Yes.
Free roll. If he stays back, then I have to. First of all, I have fewer numbers to hit. Then most likely I'm gonna leave some shot because obviously I have to stay there. And unless I roll 3-1-3, that's gonna roll, then I can pick it up. But normally I should stay there, so he has a direct shot from the bar. So I thought he should have stayed. Actually I was happy about this.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, guys. I'm not going to keep you much longer. You need to prepare for your match. Next match is in like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And Mochy, I think you will prepare for tonight for the fighters bracket, or will you be willing to do some co-commentating?
Well, I should do some practice for myself. I don't know.
Some practice.
I'm doing too much commentary already. So.
And preserve some
energy. Of course, if I lose in a fighters bracket, I'm happy to come back here.
It would be great.
But wish it didn't happen.
Yeah, we hope so for you. I mean, we wish you, the two of you, all the best in the continuation of the tournament, and thanks very much for taking some time and talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Cheers.
See you later, guys, at home.
Thank you.